Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. Everybody is equal in the eyes of God. No sect, no caste. This is what Dr. Mohan Bhagwat said in one of his speeches recently. Very good and very right. But my question tonight is, does RSS practice what it preaches? Or do they end up saying something and doing something else? That's my topic number one. My topic number two is the government of India in the current budget has cut down the allocation for Manrega to 60,000 crores. Now, why was the country's largest rural employment scheme given a budget of 60,000 crores? Why was the budget reduced? Let's discuss that. Let's understand this. Let's get right onto the show. So, Dr. Mohan Bhagwat said that everybody is equal in front of God. In God's eyes, everybody is equal. There is no caste, there is no sect. Everybody is equal. Very right statement that he made. He was primarily referring to the Brahmin and Kshatriyas and the class wars and the class differences and all of that. The Shudras and all of that. So he was mentioning that and he was saying, "Nay, Baba, it should not happen." In fact, he went on to say that when one earns livelihood, one has a responsibility towards the society. When every work is being done for the society, then how can it be big or small or different from each other? He asked. Very logical question. What he meant was Varna Vyavastha was primarily based on the work that a person does. So a person who is a priest was a Brahmin, a person who is to be in the army would be Kshatriya, a person who would do business and trade would be a Vaishnava, so on and so forth. This was how the Varna Vyavastha was created. That is what he says. So anybody who does any job, no matter what that job is important to the society. So why are you seeing it differently? Very correct, very fair. This is what even I believe. Very nice. But the fact is, RSS is saying this. And now I have started believing that what they say and what they do are two different things. Now, RSS, as an organization, if you see RSS, RSS has never been headed by anybody other than a Brahmin. Isn't that ironical? When RSS believes that everybody is doing their job and everybody is same in the eyes of God, and RSS also claims to be an organization that represents Hindus. Hindus is a combination of all people. It is a combination of Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Shudras, Vaishnavas, everybody. It's a combination of all these people. But the representation as claimed by RSS, I don't know whether RSS represents me as a Hindu, but if RSS says that it represents Hindu culture, if that is the RSS, then how come RSS is always headed by a Brahmin? I'll tell you what I mean by that. As usual, let us get into some facts and figures so that we don't just talk in the air. Okay, now, the first RSS chief, the person who created RSS was a gentleman called Keshav Baliram Hegdewar. Keshav Baliram Hegdewar, 1925 to 30, who was the first Sarsanga Chalak, was a Brahmin. Lakshman Vasudev Paranjpe, 1930 to 1931, second Sarsanga Chalak. In fact, he was not a Sarsanga Chalak, he was an acting Sarsanga Chalak, but whatever. Lakshman Vasudev Paranjpe, 1930 to 1931, Brahmin. Keshav Baliram Hegdewar, who came back as a Sarsanga Chalak in 1931 to 1940, like I told you, Brahmin. M.S. Goldwalkar, 1940 to 1973, Brahmin. M. Dattatreya Devras, 1973 to 1994, Brahmin. Rajendra Singh, that is Rajju Bhaiya, the first non-Brahmin Kshatriya RSS head, 1994 to 2000. K.S. Sudarshan, 2000 to 2009, Brahmin. Mohan Bhagwat, 2009, currently Brahmin. So, out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 RSS heads that they had from 1925 till date, everybody is a Brahmin except for one. Everybody else is Brahmin. That means RSS which is a representation of Hindus, and where Brahmins are technically supposed to be 4% of the total Hindu population, if I am not wrong. In this entire Hindu population, they could only find Brahmins, that 4%, to represent Hinduism and become the chief of RSS. And Mohan Bhagwat saying that, in the eyes of God, everybody is same, Baba. Thoda digest nahi ho, right? It's not, it doesn't go down well. Fair enough. Okay, that's point number one. Point number two, another very typical thing that you see in RSS is, especially after Bharatiya Janata Party took over as the government of India and as the ruling party and as possibly one of the most popular party in the country, that is 2014 onwards, one sees that before the election, that is, the election was in 2019, 2018, Dr. Mohan Bhagwat goes out and gives a lot of sound bites, makes a lot of statements that are very secular, that are very forthcoming, that are very inclusive, that is very tolerant. He starts making those statements. After the election, once the election is won, then he is quiet till the eve of the next election. This is the eve of the 2024 election. We are in 2023. And here he is making statements and going and meeting. For instance, I'll tell you what I wanted to kind of point out. Last year, that is September onwards, he had a lot of closed door meetings with a lot of Muslim intellectuals, Muslim leaders, which is a good thing. I always say it's a good thing. It's a beautiful thing. In fact, I welcome it. But the point is, why does it all of this happens just on the eve of the election? And then right after the election, one forgets about it. Why does this happen? Which is surprising, which is something that I couldn't understand. Currently, I am seeing a change in RSS. Like I told you before I started this conversation, there was a lot of things told about RSS, but RSS was never seen as supporting a business group. Ever. Never. RSS has never supported any business group or any business conglomerate. RSS is never seen that way. They supported their ideology, definitely yes. But now, there was an article in Organizer. This article predominantly, and I'm not going to dwell into this article and all that, I do not agree to whatever the content of that article is. So, I am not going to discuss that article much. I am leaving that link of that article in my description box. So, you can have a look at it. You can read it too if you feel you want to check that article out. But the point is, there was an article written by Organizer. Organizer is the RSS mouthpiece. It's an RSS magazine, and now they are into digital and all of that. And in this particular Organizer, this particular magazine, they wrote an article creating a conspiracy theory, creating a theory as to why the entire world, and especially a few journalists in India and a few businessmen in India, in trying to conspire against Adani, trying to pull Adani down. I thought, till date, at least I have never seen RSS indulge in such narratives or indulge in such arguments or indulge in such debates, or even, either support or go against such kind of debates in this country. They always kept out of business. They were more focused on social, cultural, to a certain extent political, though they went deny, but also political facets of India. But first time I'm seeing them involve themselves in a corporate or support a corporate entity. Now, I was wondering why this happened. Why would they want to change their thought process? Because Gautam Adani is a Jain or a Hindu? Is it because of that? But then that way, Vijay Mallya was also a Hindu. That way, Nirav Modi is also a Hindu. That way, Lalit Modi is also a Hindu. That way, Mehul Choksi is also a Hindu. So, all of them are Hindus, but RSS never went and backed them up. Why is RSS backing Gautam Adani? Now, this argument that a lot of people may write, and possibly a lot of you all must have wrote down in my comment box that it is not RSS, it is the organizer, and all that I will not accept. It is not RSS, it is organizer. All this argument I will not accept is because if Samna writes an article, it is the mind of Shiva Sena. It is the opinion of Shiva Sena. It is the opinion of currently Uddhav Thackeray. It is his opinion. It is very clear. He can't say, "Mereko nahi malum yaar, Samna mein kya chapa hai." It doesn't work that way. Likewise, if it is printed in Organizer, it is definitely the collective view of RSS. Because will Organizer ever go and criticize BJP? Will organizer ever go and criticize Dr. Mohan Bhagwat saying that, bhai, kaise bola aapne, everybody is same, then why no non-Brahman head for RSS? Will they ask? No, they won't. So they are going to say, they are going to think, they are going to write what RSS thinks, what RSS feels, and what RSS wants to communicate. So I am surprised seeing this article. And I wonder why they did it. That was my topic. Let's get into the next one. So the Modi government has slashed Manrega budget to 60,000 crores. Manrega is Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. This act was formulated by the Congress government in 2006. That is Manmohan Singh government in 2006. The budget now allocated is 60,000 crores. Now, if you see, just to get into some figures, if you see this 60,000 crores was actually not an all-time low, but it is the lowest after 2017. In 2012-13, the outlay was 30,274.72 crores. 13-14, 32,994.12 crores. Let's come to 2017-18, it was 55,166.04 crores. In 2018-19, 61,815.09 crores. 19-20, 71,686.7 crores. 2020-21, 1,11,169.53 crores. 21-22, 98,467.85 crores. And the 22-23 budget was 89,400 crores, and this time around the allocation is 60,000 crores. So the budget has been slashed. Now, the budget has been slashed from 1 lakh odd crores to now to whatever it is. To that extent, I was expecting a budget slash, but to slash it down to 60,000 crores is what surprises me. Because if you actually go to see, the most effective rural employment scheme in this country was Manrega. It generated an all-time high of 389 crore personal days of employment in 2020-2021. 389 crores and 363 crores in 21-22. Even in the current fiscal year, it is projected to generate employment for 290 to 300 crore personal days. 389 crores of personal days of employment. That is huge. It is huge. In fact, Manrega, all said and done, the actual power of Manrega, a lot of people may differ to me, but to me, the actual power of Manrega was seen between 2020, 21 and 22. The actual power of Manrega. Because it was Manrega that supported our nation during the pandemic. It was Manrega that supported our rural population. Phenomenal support to our rural population. Of course, the Prime Minister of India's ration scheme of giving 5 kilos of wheat, 5 kilos of dal, that was also a very, very strong support for the rural population. No doubt about it. It was a very strong support, and it really helped the rural population of this country, which nobody can deny. But Manrega was also something that created employment, and therefore it was something that the rural population earned by their own efforts. So Manrega was very, very important. So one wonders what was the reason why Manrega budget was cut to 60,000 crores, like I said. And I also repeat once again that I would understand if the budget is brought down from 1,11,000 crores down, that I would understand. But to get it down to 60,000 crores is what I don't understand. Now, what I would think is going in the government's mind is taking away money from Manrega and putting into missions like the Jal Jeevan mission or the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. Okay, which would definitely ensure that will convert into votes for the Bharatiya Janata Party in 2024. This is what I would assume, looking at it from a political prism. Okay, but the fact is, even the Jal Jeevan mission is a good project which was launched by Mr. Narendra Modi. The budget of Jal Jeevan mission aims to provide functional tap connections to every rural household by 2024. So the mission is fantastic. The mission is fantastic. Okay, so both the Awas Yojana and the Jal Jeevan Mission is a good project. But can it replace Manrega? Is it an option for Manrega? That I don't know. While a Jal Jeevan Mission is necessary, budget has to be allocated and running water has to be provided to rural household. But can you do it at the cost of providing them jobs? That's the question that one needs to ask. And in my mind, it doesn't. In my mind, it is only going to cause more distress in the rural sector. So that's broadly what the topic of the day was. That's broadly what I wanted to discuss with you today. Till I see you next time, that is tomorrow at 10 p.m. Namaskar.
To know about the latest updates on our new news app, go on your Android or iOS, search for HW News Network. Download our app, choose the language you prefer to get updates in, and be up to date with the latest news.